the boats in southwest Florida waters, many of them become abandoned for any number of reasons. This week, Lee County Natural Resources began a sweep of the county to remove these derelict boats and clean up the waterways. Corner's Carl Fortier went along for the ride and shows us what happens to these old boats.
We have a contract out right now for removal of 16 vessels. This is vessel number 5.
It might bear the name Partnership, but this barnacle-covered boat has been left alone in the backwaters near Fort Myers Beach for quite some time. Now it's up to the county to give Partnership its last cruise.
But these are junk boats, and our waterways are much more sensitive, so we need to remove them as soon as we can if they are abandoned and derelict.
Justin McBride with Lee County's Division of Natural Resources says they use contractors that bid on these removal jobs, and they're paid using grant money. He says it's a last resort for these lonely boats if they can't find the captain.
And sometimes people move out of the area and forget about it. We've had a lot where the owner has died.
David Durham reported one boat in the middle of Matanzas Pass that he says he knows wasn't simply forgotten.
Been anchored off there about 2 months, and they towed it over, dropped it off, and left.
He says its registration expired about 8 years ago, and that it's just not responsible to leave a boat out there that long, since it could become a navigational hazard.
I wanted to make sure that they knew about it, as opposed to just letting it sit there and deteriorate and become more derelict.
Meanwhile, back on dry land, Partnership has definitely had its final voyage.
This one is going to be broken up and taken to the waste-to-energy facility. We have to remove all the hazardous materials. You know, the gas tanks, oil tanks, engines, everything's drained and removed.
But McBride says he hopes more people who need to dispose of their boats will work with the county before simply abandoning them.
If you own a boat and it's reached the end of its life and you don't know what to do with it, please call me. I will help you. I'll help facilitate you removing that boat. It's a lot of times not as expensive as you think, and it's not as hard as you think.
In Fort Myers Beach, Carl Fortier, Fox 4, in your corner.
So if you have a boat in Lee County you need to dispose of or need to report an abandoned boat, you can call the Lee County Division of Natural Resources. That number here, 239-533-8109.